in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
6:27 p.m. and we have a new tornado warning for parts of northern Clark County. Tornado warning now for the city of Thomasville. Hope you're having a nice Sunday evening. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, joined alongside executive producer Landon Barentine. Supercell thunderstorm may be producing a tornado near Highway 43 in northern Clark County. This is a call to action, meaning you've got to take action to protect yourself as we have a possible tornado near the community of Springfield moving to the northeast. Let me give you some geographical bearings so you'll know what we're talking about here. This is Clark County in West Alabama. Here's Clark County. This is Washington, Choctaw, and Monroe. This tornado warning is in effect for the northern part of Clark County, and this is valid until 7 p.m. local time. If you are in the city of Thomasville, Alabama, you are now under this active tornado warning that is valid until 7 o'clock local time. And so the first thing we need to do is tell you exactly who is involved in this brand new tornado warning that has just been triggered by the National Weather Service. We'll zoom in and tell you that if you are in the city of Thomasville, you are in this tornado warning polygon, and you need to be taking action to protect yourself as we have a possible tornado probably going to end up being on the south side of Thomasville, moving off to the northeast. But nonetheless, if you are in the city of Thomasville, be in a safe place. Same thing at Fulton, same thing at Springfield, Sand Flat, and Dickinson. Right in through here along US Highway 43. Be sheltered now as we have a possible tornado lifting off to the northeast. Let's go back over to our iPad view. And again, the call to action is for Fulton, Dickinson, Sand Flat, Springfield, and Thomasville here in northern Clark County. If you're in Jackson or Grove Hill, you are out. There is no danger in Jackson or Grove Hill. This is strictly an issue for northern Clark County. And here's your possible tornado. It is right in through here, likely very near Highway 43, south of the core of Thomasville, which is up here. But look, I can't rule anyone out. If you're in the city of Thomasville, we want you to treat this very seriously and be in a safe place now if you are in northern Clark County, specifically near Thomasville. Again, be in a safe place. Let's go back over to LD1. And I can tell you, in addition to the tornado threat, there also is a pronounced threat of large hail, perhaps as large as hen eggs in northern Clark County. We actually had a report back here near Coffeyville a few minutes ago of $half-dollar sized hail. And so again, the call to action is for Thomasville. And here's the deal. You can make all the difference in the world in terms of getting this warning out. I can't reach everyone in the city of Thomasville. Now, we sent out a Red Zone Weather app alert, and for the good folks who've downloaded our app and turned on those Clark County alerts, you got an alert, but I can't reach everyone. And so please understand, it can make all the difference in the world if you can just text or call folks that are in Thomasville or Fulton now to let them know that we have an imminent danger zone here in northern Clark County. You can be the hero. You may be the difference of someone taking shelter or not. And please, we encourage you to be sheltered. And look, I'm practicing what I preach. My cousin Ellen Gates lives on the south side of Thomasville, and I just sent her a text that said, be sheltered. She knows good and well when we go live, but we want folks in Thomasville to be in a tornado safe place now as we have a possible tornado on the south side of town moving to the northeast. It is now 6:30 p.m. and we are here because of this active tornado warning in northern Clark County. This does also include part of Wilcox County as well. Pine Hill, Possum Bend, Camden, also areas near Coy and Sunny South. All those areas involved in the active tornado warning, valid until 7 o'clock local time. So we got 30 more minutes on this, and this is going to be a deal where the possible tornado likely skirts Thomasville, most likely on the south side, and ultimately comes out here towards areas like the Golden Dragon Factory and also out here towards Coy in southern Wilcox County. So again, 6:31 p.m. on this Sunday evening. And again, we're here because of this tornado warning. Let's show you what's happening across the entire local area, because this is the only warning that we have on the board. Anywhere else across South Alabama and Northwest Florida, you are in good shape. This is strictly an issue for northern Clark County, and we have a new tornado watch that we will come back and share more information about and tell you exactly who's involved in that north of our area. But just kind of looking at this, Washington, Clark, Choctaw, Monroe, Conecuh, Butler counties, points north, all included in the new tornado watch, valid until 1 a.m. So this is going to be a fairly long duration severe weather event, but the imminent call to action at this moment is here in northern Clark County. We'll zoom in real tight. And again, y'all know the drill. If I'm not talking about you, no news is good news. But unfortunately for our friends in northern Clark County, the news right now is bad because you have a tornado warning. And this does include Dickinson, Fulton, Springfield, Sand Flat, also areas near Thomasville. Possible tornado is going to be right here near the Thomasville Industrial Park. This is US Highway 43 right here. That's Old Highway 5 right here that runs out of Thomasville south towards Fulton. So that's Old Highway 5. This is Alabama Highway 154 back here. And if you are in Chilton or Tallahassee Springs, this tornado warning is now to your east. So again, all clear for now for Chilton and Tallahassee Springs. But for folks in Thomasville, Sand Flat, Springfield, and Fulton, be in your tornado safe place for the next few minutes. You're not going to have to be in that shelter for long, probably 5, maybe 10 minutes. But this is quickly moving toward the northeast into Wilcox County, and this will be out of Clark in about, say, 10 minutes. So let's give it 10 minutes, and we'll be able to give you an all clear in the northern part of Clark County, but we certainly cannot do that just yet. Let's kind of zoom in here and see if we can see anything on the velocity view. And yeah, there's broad rotation depicted on radar, no doubt about it. And I say broad, this thing very well could be producing a tornado somewhere in through here on the south side of Thomasville. If you're familiar with this area, you know that you've got the schools in Coastal, the campus of Coastal Alabama Community College right here on US Highway 43. That sits right about here. Thomasville Elementary and Thomasville High School are right here. The Norfolk Southern Railroad that runs out of Thomasville runs right in through here. All right, so there's your railroad. Possible tornado is going to be out here toward Old Highway 5, and that is rapidly moving toward Wilcox County. And so, like I said, you're only going to be in that tornado shelter for about 5 more minutes in Thomasville. But let's give it 5 more minutes. Let's let this thing get on into Wilcox County, and we'll be able to give you an all clear soon. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and look in Wilcox County, because for the folks who are in Pine Hill or areas near the McMillan-Blodell paper mill. I'm not sure who owns that paper mill anymore, but it was the McMillan-Blodell paper mill right there on Alabama Highway 10. You need to be in a safe place. Possible tornado is going to come just like this, and this is coming out here towards the Alabama River, out towards Possum Bend, and also toward County Highway 18, which is right in through here. You've got Alabama Highway 41. You want to talk about a beautiful drive in the fall. Man, oh man, you drive from Camden to Monroeville or from Monroeville to Camden. That is a beautiful stretch of Alabama Highway. It gets so hilly and curvy in through here when you go through the red hills of southern Wilcox and northern Monroe County. It looks like you're in a mini mountain range out in through here. Gorgeous country out in through here. But that area near Coy and near the Alabama River is currently under the gun from what could be a tornado on the ground coming into Wilcox County from Clark County over the next few minutes. Landon, if you will, let's go back over to the iPad source here, and we'll show you that a minute ago when this tornado warning came on the board, this circulation was a bit more pronounced right in through here, back when it was around Chilton and Tallahassee Springs. But what has happened since then is the circulation is certainly still there, but it's a bit more broad than it once was. And so again, we encourage everyone for the next 3 to 4 minutes in Thomasville, hang out in that safe place. Same thing at Sand Flat, same thing at Springfield. Just stay sheltered for the next 2 to 3 minutes. We're getting close to this thing being in Wilcox County. It's moving pretty quick over there, and ultimately is going to cross the county line into Wilcox in the next few minutes. By the way, if you, let's go back over to LD1. If you have any damage reports or any hail reports to pass along, if hail has fallen at your location, let us know in the comments below. And if you can send in a picture of the hail that has happened in your location, that is immensely helpful for us to be able to pass along to the National Weather Service in Mobile. And Landon, if you'll be diligent about watching those comments, specifically on the Facebook side of things, we will pass those along as we get them. I am officially 157 messages behind in my inbox, and so I apologize if over the last few minutes you have messaged for an individual briefing or something like that. By the way, just got a report in from Tallahassee Springs that we've got quarter-sized hail that has fallen from this storm in Tallahassee Springs. So back behind this, we'll zoom in and show you. This is Alabama Highway 154 right here. Tallahassee Springs is going to be right in through here. And so where this storm was about 10 minutes ago, it produced quarter-sized hail in central Clark County. And now that quarter-sized hail is likely happening very near or just to the east of Thomasville, out here just to the south of Highway 5, near the Golden Dragon manufacturing facility. Let's kind of zoom into that area because clearly the core threat is now east of Thomasville. But let's give it 1 to 2 more minutes, and I promise we'll give you an all clear in Thomasville. We're getting real close. But I want this thing to clear into Wilcox before we give you an all clear in Thomasville. I tell you what, if you're at Springfield or Sandflat, we can give you an all clear. So all clear for Springfield and Sandflat. If you live south of Highway 40, south of Thomasville, out here on 43, clearly the threat is now to your east. But again, let's give it 1 more minute in Thomasville, and I'll be able to give you an all clear as well. Clearly the main threat, though, is quickly shifting into Wilcox County. This is US Highway 43. This is Alabama Highway 5 right here. This is Alabama Highway 25 that comes into 5 right there near the Golden Dragon. You've got large hail falling just south of the Golden Dragon manufacturing facility right here in Wilcox County. And that's quickly going to come up toward Yellow Bluff and areas near the big paper mill, McMillan-Blodell paper mill. This is Alabama Highway 10 right here. County Highway 18 is right here. In Wilcox County, Alabama. And so possible tornado is now coming into Wilcox County in addition to that very large hail threat. Could have upwards of golf ball, maybe even hen egg size hail over the next few minutes. Landon, have you seen any reports of hail in the, say that again? In Thomasville. Okay, did the person say the size of the hail? Look, if you have a hail report, we certainly appreciate that, but be sure to tell us the size of the hail in reference to something, and please don't use marbles. You know, marbles can be, tiny or they can be large, so don't use marbles. That's something that we're trying to get away from in the weather world. How big was the hail? Did they say? They may not have said.
There's 2 different reports.
2 different reports. Okay, so yeah, hail happening near or just south of Thomasville. And so that's coming in from viewers on Facebook Live. Thank you for those reports. We certainly appreciate that over the last few minutes. I tell you what we've not done. Let's go over to the radar scope source, please. And this is our hail tracker product, and I tell you what, these numbers are quite high. They've come down a bit. When the sale was back here over Coffeyville, we know that it produced upwards of $half sized hail, and right now, this storm likely is producing quarter to golf ball sized hail in Wilcox County, just south of Pine Hill, out here south of the Golden Dragon and to the southwest of the McMillan-Blodell paper mill. That's Yellow Bluff where that big paper mill is. That squiggly line that you see right in through there, that's the Alabama River. And so this is going to cross the Alabama River. You might have some hail in Camden in about 20 minutes. And so if you know someone that's in Camden, Alabama right now, call them and let them know that they're under an active tornado warning and they may have large hail. Now is the time in Camden to get those cars, trucks, and SUVs under a carport or garage, because this is a large hail signature that will be coming into Yellow Bluff, and I mean, that thing's making a beeline for Camden. I mean, just like a train on a track. And so if you're in Camden, you need to be in a safe place because of the imminent tornado threat, but I'm also really concerned about this large hail threat coming in from the west. Let's go back over to our velocity view, and yeah, your circulation is now clearly at the county line crossing into Wilcox. And so with that said, let's go back over to LD1. We will give you a tornado all clear in the city of Thomasville, all right? So city of Thomasville, we're giving you an all clear. There's no doubt at this point that the tornado or possible tornado has now passed and is no longer a threat to Thomasville. So Thomasville points south, Springfield, Sandflat, Fulton, Dickinson, Old Highway 5 in Clark County, Alabama. All clear south of Thomasville. So again, all clear for the city of Thomasville and points south. I realize that polygon still technically includes Clark County, but the circulation is clearly crossing now into Wilcox County. And I tell you, that thing is really going to be a problem in terms of a large hail threat for Yellow Bluff, Possum Bend, which is right here on Alabama Highway 10, and for the city of Camden, if it holds its strength. Landon, I am getting in a video that we're going to pull up on the iPad source. And if you'll wait to go to that, please. We're going to keep it here on LD1. I need to get out one more text to my cousin in Camden. And look, you know, I'm very much of the mindset that you need to be a person that practices what you preach. And, you know, it's hard for me to stand up here and say you need to text folks, call folks, tag folks in the comments below without telling my people too. And so, you know, when I go off camera for a second and kind of focus on my phone, that's what I'm doing. So just bear with me. I got cousins all over the place, Thomasville, Camden, and everywhere else. And I just texted my cousin in Thomasville and said, be in a safe place. So again, Camden, Possum Bend, Yellow Bluff, under the gun from a possible tornado and perhaps more significantly, a large hail threat over the next few minutes. What you got?
Pea-sized hail passing over into Wilcox.
Okay, and did they say their location?
No, they just said passing over.
Okay, yeah, and so was that a report? Do we know? Okay, so nonetheless, we got hail falling in parts of Clark and Wilcox counties. No doubt there is hail falling with this. We've had several reports over the last few minutes from viewers on Facebook Live. Thank you, Landon, for passing that along. I really appreciate that. Pea-sized hail, upwards of golf ball-sized hail. This storm was producing half-dollar-sized hail when it was back here in the western part of Clark County near Coffeyville and McIntyre about 30 to 45 minutes ago. Now this has passed into Wilcox County. And with that said, let's go over to the iPad because it's important that we continue to give out these all clear messages. If you are in northern Clark County, it does not matter specifically where you are, we will give you a tornado and large hail all clear. So again, for Clark County specifically, all clear. The threat has passed and it's now in Wilcox County. So if you've been in that tornado hiding place and you're anywhere in Clark County, Alabama, you can come out of that tornado hiding place. You're done with the threat for now. Now, we may have other issues later, but the issues in Clark County specifically have come to an end. Wilcox County, you've got to remain sheltered. Let's go back over to LD1. The thing is now totally in Wilcox County. And yes, you see these echoes on radar. This is strictly heavy rain, all right? This part of the storm that's producing heavy rain, your issues are going to be right in through here on the southwestern flank of this supercell storm. Right in through here is going to be your possible tornado. Hail core is going to be here south of Pine Hill, very near Pine Hill, coming into areas near Possum Bend over the next few minutes. And so if you're at Possum Bend and perhaps you're tuning in at the last minute, you need to be in a safe place, a tornado reinforced structure, small room near the center of your structure or house, away from windows and away from doors. Do we have our tornado prep graphic thing up on that specific machine? Thank you so much for it. Yeah, if you'll take that full, let me just call out again for the folks in Possum Bend, Pine Hill, if you are near Yellow Bluff or areas near the McMillan Blowdale paper mill, let's go over to the graphics. This is what you need to be doing right now. Small room near the center part of your house, away from windows and away from doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Best possible thing on this list, you know what I'm going to say if you're a longtime viewer, put something on your head to protect yourself. That's not just for kids, that's for adults as well, all right? So put something on your head. If you don't have a helmet of some sort, doesn't matter what kind of helmet, bicycle, football, baseball, helmet's great. If you don't have a helmet, put a cooking pot on. I know it sounds, crazy to people who've never heard it for the first time, but we know from research done after these horrible tornado events that folks that protect their head have a greater chance, much greater chance, in fact, of surviving big bad tornadoes. Let's go back over to LD1. And again, we're calling for folks in Pine Hill, Possum Bend, and Camden to be in a tornado-safe place now, as we have a possible tornado right in through here on the back edge of this supercell thunderstorm, and we have a threat of large hail up to golf ball size pushing into Camden over the next few minutes. The weather is about to get really nasty if you're at Camden or along Alabama Highway 10. Speaking of that, no travel at this point in Wilcox County from Pine Hill back over to Camden on Alabama Highway 10. Also, no travel out of Monroeville all the way back up to Camden on Alabama Highway 41, as we could have a possible tornado coming into Camden right about now. Again, for folks that just may be joining us, we've given an all clear to all parts of northern Clark County. You are done with the tornado risk if you are in tornado threat, I should say, the imminent tornado threat in northern Clark County. The risk continues over the next few hours, and I suspect we probably will get more in the way of supercell storms organizing across the region. Do you have LD2 up as a source? Is that available? Will you hit into that, please? And let's go to the state view. So here's the situation as it stands right now across the state of Alabama. We have a new tornado watch, and I say new, it's been on the board for, 20 or 30 minutes. And this tornado watch includes a wide chunk of the state from Clark and Washington counties here on the southwest side, all the way back up to Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Opelika, areas near Anniston involved in the tornado watch that's valid until 1 a.m. And so yes, we have this active tornado warning in areas to the east of Thomasville. Now you're fine in Thomasville. We gave you an all clear, you're done. But for Wilcox County, you have an active tornado warning. But again, I just wanted to show you quickly, we do have these counties shaded in yellow under this new tornado watch valid until 1 a.m. And we note that parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, and East Texas remain involved in a separate tornado watch valid until later this evening. I see we've got a ton of warnings over there in terms of severe thunderstorm warnings that really go from the Alabama-Mississippi state line all the way back over to Vicksburg there in Mississippi, on the Mississippi River, and back into Louisiana as well. Let's go back over to LD1 because I do want to get the focus back on our tornado warning. Just to make it official for folks in Clark County, you're done with this warning, all right? So Clark is done, Wilcox is in. And you see the banner below me that Landon put up. You're under the gun from a possible tornado near or just south of Pine Hill near the community of Coy, coming into areas near Yellow Bluff and Possum Bend. So I tell you what, let's zoom in and get real tight on this, and you'll see that we do have a large hail signature imminently coming into Yellow Bluff. These DBZ values, not to get all nerdy on you, but these are very, very high DBZ values. That's the measurement on reflectivity that we use, the units, and these are just sky high. I think if I put out a probe, you'll see these numbers are going to be in excess of like 70, almost 70, I should say. 65 DBZ, 58, 59. When you start seeing numbers like this, this tells us that the rain rates are intense, and in addition to the rain rates, you've also got hail, perhaps large hail, falling with this thunderstorm happening near Yellow Bluff right now. Let's go back over to the iPad view. I want to go to a derived product here. Let's go to the VIL Ooh, yeah, that's really ramped up over the last few frames. Goodness, that is not good news for Camden. Look at that. You see these numbers. Let's see if we can put a probe out on that. 77.5 in terms of our hail tracker, in terms of the kilograms per square meters. That's basically just a high number that tells us, hey, this storm is likely producing very large hail, up to half dollar size, coming into Yellow Bluff and Camden. So again, we encourage everyone in Camden and Yellow Bluff to be in a safe place now because of the imminent tornado threat, but also we're really concerned about the large hail threat. Let's go back over to LD, wait 1 second, I apologize, get that set up. LD1, and I tell you, we are at peak heating hour as the sun is just now going down. The atmosphere is locked and loaded. It's ripe. It's got plenty of energy, and these storms are tapping into it. Man, oh man, look at all the severe thunderstorms on this map. Let's see if we can put our lightning tracker on. Man, look at that. 4,000 strikes of lightning in the view here over the last 5 minutes. That's a lot of lightning. I mean, that's just a huge number, and that's representative of these high instability numbers that we have in the atmosphere today. I mean, you're talking 3,000 or 4,000 joules per kilogram in terms of the surface-based CAPE. Again, a lot of nerd talk just to say that atmosphere is fueled and it's primed for severe weather over the next few hours. And I really think that we're going to have issues with tornadoes as we get into the evening hours, perhaps near and just north of our local area. So locally, anytime I say the word locally, I'm talking about our primary coverage area: Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, Butler, points south, down to the beaches. You belong to us, and anytime there's a tornado warning for those counties, you know the policy. We go live and stay live until the threat is over. And I think that most of the issues are going to be in this corridor right in through here over the next few hours. And that, by the way, coincides with the area that the Storm Prediction Center has in this level 4 out of 5 severe weather risk. And so we've got the level 4 out of 5 risk. We've got the ongoing tornado watch valid until 1 a.m. We got a tornado warning for Wilcox County. A lot going on this evening. But this is the storm of imminent concern that may be producing a tornado coming into Yellow Bluff and Camden over the next few minutes. Let me see what the Weather Service is thinking about doing here. All right, we're getting some damage reports in. Storm damage has just been reported in Clark County. All right, so we've got, I'm going to read these off straight from the Weather Service. You're seeing them as I am. Billboard signs blown down and into the middle of Highway 43 at North Clark Industrial Boulevard. All right, so let's kind of take you in there and show you where this happened. Again, we've got an active tornado warning for Wilcox County, but now we've got storm damage that's been reported due to this tornado that's come through, a likely tornado. Again, a billboard blown down and into the middle of Highway 43 at North Clark Industrial. That's going to be right in through here. You see Thomasville Industrial Park on the map. The Thomasville Industrial Park sits right about here. This is US Highway 43. This is Alabama Highway 154. This is Old Highway 5, I should say. So we've got storm damage right here. We also just got reports in from Sand Flat Road and also London Road. That's going to be down here. Of storm damage being reported. And so what may have happened, you may have had a tornado that moved through about 10 minutes ago. In addition, you also may have had a wide swath of damaging straight line winds coming just like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if this area had large hail as well. Getting a new report in, traffic signals are down at Highway 43 and North Clark Industrial. And so there is a brand new Phillips 66 gas station that was built in the last year down here on the south side of Thomasville. If you're familiar with this area, that was a cow field about, 3 or 4 years ago. But recently, they built that Phillips 66 gas station down there on the south side of Thomasville. And what's happened here, that new traffic signal that was installed near that gas station has apparently been brought down by the strong winds here in northern Clark County. Also getting reports of a lot of small debris in the road near Highway 43 and Dummy Line Road. That's on the south side of Thomasville. In fact, I'll zoom in real tight. I'm very familiar with this area because my family lives in that area. Here's Dummy Line Road right there. That's Dummy Line where it comes in right there at 43. Bassett's Creek is right in through here. And so the report that we just got from Roy Waite, who's our Rockstar EMA director over in Clark County, he is saying that we have a lot of small debris in that general area. But again, lots of damage being reported in northern Clark County in terms of what appears to be minor damage. I've had no reports over the last few minutes of structures being damaged. And so if there's any good news with all this, it's that I have not received any reports of any houses being damaged or buildings being damaged at this point. Now, don't get me wrong, we may have had damage and the reports just may not have come in yet. But nonetheless, we're seeing damage from this storm that's now kicking into Wilcox County, and the imminent threat is at Yellow Bluff, Possum Bend, and the city of Camden. If you know someone in those three places specifically, Camden, Yellow Bluff, Possum Bend, you need to call them, text them, tag them in the video comments below, and let them know that we have an active tornado warning, and this storm has done quite a bit of damage as it crossed northern Clark right in through here. That large hail signature is just, quite frankly, off the charts in terms of the reflectivity. And I tell you, that tornado signature is really ramped up as well. Landon, if you will, take me back over to radar scope and we'll show you that on velocity, we are still seeing signs that this storm could be producing quite a bit of damage. Again, to get your geographical bearing straight, here's Clark County, this is Marengo, this is Wilcox, and this is northern Monroe. Here's your tornado warning polygon, and your possible tornado is going to be down here south of Pine Hill most likely, and probably about 3 to 4 miles to the south of Yellow Bluff. And so possible tornado coming in to Yellow Bluff, Possum Bend, and Camden over the next few minutes. I cannot tell you how invaluable and helpful it is for you to tag folks in the video comments below. That is so immensely helpful for us to be able not only to get the word out, but also to let folks know that we have an impending danger zone here in Wilcox County. Landon, have you had any reports over the last few minutes from the Facebook side of things? Okay, good. Getting a ton of questions on social media about other spots in our local area. Let's go back over to LD1 and we'll show you this is the only storm in the entire region. No news is good news. If I have not talked about you, you are fine. That is the policy, and it never fails. Anytime we have a severe weather event, we're going to get questions about why are you not covering Pensacola? Why are you not covering Crestview, Destin, Mobile? You name it, people are going to ask, and that comes with the territory. That's fine. But just know, for everyone watching, if I'm not talking about you, you're fine, all right? The imminent threat is going to be here in Wilcox County. We've got a new tornado warning to tell you about. This is going to be a new one, and this is going to be for Wilcox County, all right? This is an extension of the tornado warning that was in effect previously back here near Pine Hill. And I tell you, if you look, that is now, that's got a hook on radar. You can kind of see a hook echo in here. Inflow coming in just like that. Counterclockwise circulation could have a possible tornado on the ground doing damage very near the community of Coy. All right, so Coy, Camden, Possum Bend. You need to be in a safe place now. Don't play with this. This is serious business. We could have a serious damage event in through here as this storm continues to truck off to the east. In fact, just as I say that, we've got multiple trees down back in Sand Flat. All right, so this storm, you know, I tell you, this has really done a number across northern Clark. Here's northern Clark County, and we'll put this in motion so you can see that about an hour ago is when this storm entered northern Clark County here in West Alabama. And you'll see when this storm was near Thomasville, it looked just as impressive on radar. And we know from Roy Waite, who's the EMA director over here in Clark County, that this storm has done quite a bit of damage on the south side of Thomasville. Look at it, watch it, there it goes. And now this is an exclusive issue for Wilcox County. So if you're in Camden, you need to be taking those tornado warning precautions now to protect yourself. Lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. It is now 8 p.m. in the east, it's 5 p.m. out west, and it's 7 o'clock on the dot here in southwest Alabama and northwest Florida, where we are here because of an active tornado warning in Wilcox County. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, joined alongside executive producer Landon Barentine. And in addition to the ongoing tornado threat, this is a large hail threat for parts of Wilcox County, specifically near the community of Possum Bend and Camden. We would advise absolutely no travel at this point on Alabama Highway 41 extending from Camden back down to Monroeville. Also, no travel on Alabama Highway 10 extending from Pine Hill all the way back over to, let's say, Pineapple, just to be safe. Pineapple is on the eastern end of Wilcox, and Pine Hill is on the western side of Wilcox. And so no travel between Pineapple and Pine Hill on Alabama Highway 10. Also, you can't be traveling at this point near Camden. Anywhere in Camden, please be off the road. In addition to the tornado threat, you've also got a threat of large hail, perhaps up to the size of golf balls, coming in from the west. Sorry to laugh, I get tagged in some really bizarre stuff during these severe weather events that's just wild over on Twitter, and I tell you, it is so important to screen those reports before you start taking videos and images live. You've got to make sure that those are credible and accurate. I see folks, doing this stuff all around the country that just flash up, a screen, and you just can't do that. We've got to be careful with what we show. Landon, anything from you over the last few minutes? What was that? Okay, good. Hopefully we'll keep it that way. Again, for folks watching on Facebook Live, first of all, thank you so much for watching. But second of all, let us know if you've had any damage or know of any damage. And certainly if you've had hail over the last hour or so, let us know in those video comments below. We got a video coming in, and this is going to be a credible video. Yeah, and this is going to show, I believe, Landon, if you will, let's go to the iPad source, please. That's the one that's concerned about the you see some large hail falling, very heavy rain. Let's go back over to LD2, and you can see across the state, really this boundary appears to be setting up in parts of central Alabama. That's where we've got this active round of thunderstorms that continues to push eastward across the state. And right now, the only tornado warning that we see on the map anywhere across the Deep South is happening in parts of Wilcox County, Alabama. So again, under the gun, Camden, Possum Bend, areas near Coy, and even down to Vredenburg. Vredenburg technically is right on the line. Let's go back over to LD1. And we'll show you that this cell really, really means business. I tell you, we gave folks in Camden a heads up about 30 minutes ago that we could have upwards of golf ball-sized hail. And with this signature, I would not be surprised if we had upwards of $half-dollar-sized hail coming into the city of Camden over the next few minutes. Those radar numbers are just sky high, and so that tells me that we certainly could have issues in terms of large hail over the next few minutes. Let's go back over to the radar scope source, still tracking this rotation right in through here. It looks like this is going to be on the south side of Camden, but I don't want to be so specific. If you're in Camden, you're in the polygon, all right? You're in the tornado warning polygon if you're in Camden, and you need to be in a tornado safe place. Lowest floor, near the center of the house, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Again, it looks like this is going to be on the south side of Camden, but I don't want to rule anyone out just yet. Let's see if I can pull up the vertically integrated liquid product. That's going to tell us, yeah, man, look at that. Wow. That is indicative of, goodness, upwards of maybe hen egg size hail. We encourage folks to not use marbles as reference for hail size during severe weather, because marbles may be that big or they may be that big. There's no telling how big a marble is. And so if you're thinking about a carton of eggs, hen egg size hail is about 2 inches in diameter. And so that size hail can certainly be damaging And for folks in Camden specifically, on the south side of town, you got a big hail core moving in right now. Thinking about this area, Alabama Highway 10 runs right in through here. The Camden Airport, which is a singular airstrip, is on the western side of town. And this large hail is going to be happening near the Camden Airport right about now. It's going to be coming into the city of Camden in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So again, for folks in Camden, you need to be in a safe place. Hopefully you've got the vehicles under the carport and under the garage at this point, as we have a very serious situation with this storm coming into Camden. Yeah, getting some questions as well about downwind communities from this, and let's kind of extrapolate this out. Again, here's your large hailstorm that could be producing a tornado right about here, and ultimately this is going to continue moving just like that. And so on that trajectory, it does look like that this could be an issue for areas near Rosebud, near Oak Hill, perhaps just to the north of Pineapple, and it does look like that this may potentially be an issue for parts of far southern Dallas, Lowndes, and maybe even northern Butler County. Forest Home specifically comes to mind. And so Forest Home, just putting you on notice, you're not under a tornado warning at this point, but just know you may get a tornado warning if this storm holds its strength. Let's go back over to LD1. And for folks that just may be tuning in, it's 7:08 p.m. and the only storm that we have anywhere remotely close is happening in Wilcox County, Alabama. Possible tornado coming into areas near Camden over the next few minutes, and you see the rest of our region is in pretty good shape. If you're in Mobile, Baldwin, Escambia, Alabama, or Covington counties, you're fine. There are no issues for you right now. Same thing in Northwest Florida. Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, Walton counties. You're in good shape at this point. Tornado watch. That means tornadoes may be possible over the next few hours. Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, Butler, Crenshaw. Points north, points east. All involved in that new tornado watch, valid until 1 a.m. The only tornado warning anywhere locally, though, and I say locally, this has technically gone outside of our area, just to the north of Monroe County, but the only tornado warning that we've got is for Wilcox County. And this is going to be a deal that's going to slide near or just to the south of Camden, just like that. Wouldn't be shocked over the next few minutes, Landon, if we started getting some reports in from the Camden area of large hail up to the size of golf balls. We're really looking like that storm is going to be an overperformer as it comes into Camden. And I see we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued. So this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. And this is going to be for parts of Choctaw and Clark counties, all right? And just like that, we got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. You see this line of storms paralleling Interstate 59. Here's Interstate 5920 that splits off into 59 right there at Meridian. These storms mean business. We could have damaging straight line winds up to 70 miles per hour coming into communities like Butler, areas near Silas, Toxie, Needham, also areas near Pennington over the next few minutes. We also note that parts of northern Marengo, southern Hale, and Sumter counties involved in severe thunderstorm warnings. Large hail likely near Demopolis and areas just to the north of Linden in Marengo County, coming out towards Fawnsdale and potentially up to Greensboro over the next few minutes. And I see we've got an update from the Weather Service for our tornado warning in Wilcox County. I tell you, that thing has got a hook on it. Right in through here, you see this hook right there. That could be indicative of where we have a tornado on the ground doing damage, perhaps near or just to the south of Camden. And you see that polygon update, some good news to pass along. Yellow Bluff will give you a tornado all clear. Now, I realize the weather is still horrible in Yellow Bluff, heavy rain, lots of lightning, thunder, that sort of thing, but the imminent tornado threat at Yellow Bluff and at Pine Hill has come to an end. So all clear, Pine Hill, Yellow Bluff. You're done at this point. There is no tornado risk imminently anyway in Yellow Bluff or in Pine Hill. We're going to keep our coverage going just for a few more minutes. Wilcox County technically is not in our primary coverage area. We would love to add Wilcox County one day. Hopefully we'll get there. But Wilcox County is not in. And so when we, go live and stay live, it's for our primary coverage area. Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, Butler, Point South. That's our primary coverage zone. But again, let's kind of get this thing past Camden and then we'll give it a break, because I wouldn't be shocked if we got more warnings coming in from the west associated with this line of storms happening near Interstate 5920 over the next few minutes. And I see, by the way, that severe thunderstorm warning does include northwestern Clark County. And so Morven, Cunningham, Woods Bluff, areas near Alabama Highway 69, right in through here. You're under that severe thunderstorm warning due to this mess back in Mississippi that's going to make a run into Choctaw and ultimately Clark counties. Ultimately, that's going to come into Marengo County as well. And so a lot going on farther inland. And look, if you're in Destin, Fort Walton Beach, areas near Pensacola, Milton, you just don't have any issues at this point. You're wondering what all the hullabaloo is about. All the issues are happening farther inland today, and we see that the threat zone over the next few minutes is clear, and I say next few minutes, really the next few hours, is going to be happening across parts of Washington, Clark, Monroe, Wilcox, Choctaw, and Marengo counties. That's kind of your threat focus zone. Let's go back over to the iPad, Landon, if we can, please, sir, because again, this is a large hailstorm that could be producing upwards of golf ball sized hail in Wilcox County, coming into Camden right now. It can't be stressed enough for folks in Camden. You need to be putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. Grab a helmet, something to protect your head. This is serious business. Don't play with this stuff. In Camden, in areas to the south of Camden, out here on 41, and out here near Alabama Highway 21, near Oak Hill as well. This is Alabama Highway 10 right here. No travel on any of those roads that I've just called out in Wilcox County over the next few minutes. 7:13 p.m. And I see that we've got a report from the Weather Service that they are suggesting this storm is likely producing ping-pong-sized hail. All right, that's big hail. If that, hits your car, you're going to have some problems in Wilcox County. Just be aware. It's too late to try to go put the car under the carport at this point, by the way. You can't do that. We've got an imminent tornado threat at Camden. You need to be protecting yourself. Don't worry about the car. We're worried about you. Property can be replaced. You cannot. So let's make it happen if you're at Camden right now. Let's go back over to our velocity view and you'll see, there's your circulation. That thing is really, really close to Camden at this point. And again, I think this is going to be on the south side of town, but that doesn't matter. If you are anywhere near the city of Camden, Alabama, you need to be in a safe place. This is past Yellow Bluff, this is past Coy, and this is past Pine Hill. This is going to pass Camden in about 5 minutes, and it will be over a much more rural part of Wilcox County out here towards Alabama Highway 10. I tell you, there's a great restaurant on the eastern side of Camden, Alabama. Gaines Ridge Supper Club. Man, oh man, if you have ever been there, you have had some great food. And this possible tornado, unfortunately, is going to pass very near Gaines Ridge Supper Club over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Just thinking about that area, you've also got downtown Camden. Wilcox Academy is in this tornado warning. Same thing on the south side of Camden out near the prison. That area is involved as well in the tornado warning. Let's go back over to LD1. If you're at Miller's Ferry, you're fine. All right, Miller's Ferry up here near the lake, totally fine. This is northern Wilcox County. This is going to come out toward Rosebud, toward Oak Hill, probably going to pass near or just to the north of Pineapple, but probably very near there over the next 5 to 10 minutes. And on that trajectory, this is going to be an issue for Lowndes County. There's no doubt this is going to be an issue for Lowndes County. If you're in southern Dallas County, this may be an issue for you. Same thing in northern Butler. Can't completely rule out impacts near Forest Home. It looks like the core of this may pass just to the north of there if it holds its strength. Here's Forest Home, here's Ridgeville, this is Alabama Highway 10, but specifically this part of Butler County, Alabama, near Forest Home and Ridgeville, you may have impacts from this storm if it holds its strength over the next 30 to 45 minutes. But because we don't have any tornado warnings across our local area, what we're going to do is go back to covering storms. I take it back. This is not going to be this is not going to be for us, but I note that we've got a new tornado warning that has just come on the board for parts of Marengo and Hale counties. So I do want to address that real quick. New tornado warning for Marengo and Hale, Linden, Faunsdale included in the tornado warning. And this could be a possible tornado very near Linden, Alabama. This is US Highway 43 right here. This is US Highway 80. Possible tornado is going to pass to the south of Demopolis, very near Linden, over the next few minutes. And I tell you, this thing is really, really wrapped up. Let's go back over to our radar scope source, and you'll see possible tornado is very near the community of Providence. This is Marengo County, Alabama. Here's Demopolis, here's Linden. This is going to pass to the north of Dayton, but I tell you, that's going to make a beeline for Faunsdale. Great cafe in Faunsdale, right there on US Highway 80. I tell you, it's a wonderful little community, and this tornado or possible tornado is making a beeline for Faunsdale, Alabama. Again, you're looking at Marengo and Hale counties. I realize that Marengo is a bit technically out of our area, but for folks in Marengo County, you just need to be aware that the northern end of the county is now under an active tornado warning. By the way, if that holds its strength, let's go back over to LB1. This is going to be an issue ultimately for Perry County. This is Perry County here. Uniontown is right here. City of Marion, MMI, if you're familiar with that. Marion Military Institute is right there. Just know, could have a possible tornado coming in say 45 minutes if this thing holds its strength. But again, we've been covering this storm. It came out of Clark County about 30 minutes ago and now is plowing through Camden. And I tell you, have we seen anything on Facebook specifically about the hail in Wilcox County? Look, if you're in Wilcox County, do me a favor, because we're going to keep it going for just a few minutes so we can kind of get a gauge of what's happening in terms of ground truth reports. Let us know if you hear hail falling in your location if you are near Camden, because again, I wouldn't be shocked if we have potentially upwards of golf ball sized hail happening near the city of Camden now as we continue to watch this storm move off to the east. Have you seen anything in the last, 10 minutes? I hadn't checked in with you, I'm sorry. All right, very good. So again, no reports coming in from Wilcox County. And look, Wilcox County is one of the most rural counties in the whole state. It is exceedingly difficult to get cell phone service in parts of Wilcox County. I can tell you, because I got family who lives in Wilcox County. And look, you go out there, you go hunting in the middle of these woods, there's nothing out there. And so it is so invaluable for you to tag folks in the comments below, call them, text them, let them know that we could have an imminent tornado threat in central Wilcox County coming into the eastern part of the county now, out towards Oak Hill, which is right here, over the next 5 to 10 minutes. We will be watching storms over the next, 6 to 8 hours or so coming in from the west. These storms back in Mississippi are going to cross the Alabama-Mississippi state line into Choctaw and Sumter counties and ultimately end up in parts of northern Clark County in about an hour. And we'll keep watching this supercell storm to see if northern Butler County goes under a warning. If you get a tornado warning in Butler County, we'll come back on Facebook Live and bring you the very latest. But because we don't have any tornado warnings for any part of southwest Alabama or northwest Florida south of Wilcox County, we are going to go back to covering storms in the Red Zone Weather app. Again, don't go anywhere. You can be watching us in the Red Zone Weather app as we continue to post updates, and we'll come straight back on Facebook Live and YouTube Live to bring you the very latest if we get more tornado warnings. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, joined alongside executive producer Landon Barrington, saying goodbye for now. We will see you soon.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone Weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.